Good morning, Bridge Nation. My name is Richie B.
DJ Audley in the building.
And across the glass we see Jody. Morning, Jody. How you doing? And good morning, Kevin. Wagwan, brethren. Bless up, bless up. Bridge Nation, we're here with you. This is Top of the Bridge Up and Go. Until 10 o'clock we go. And I can't say that this past weekend had the same kind of excitement like last weekend was. Because, you know, no carnival and all the spectacle that comes with that. But it was a fairly still a spectacular weekend, in all honesty. And we give thanks for life.
It's now time for WTF. What the fact? Now, if I never thought these creatures could get any weirder, to be honest. But here we go on. Camels actually have 3 eyelids. I don't know what I'm going to do with so much, but let's explain. Camels have not 1, not 2, but 3 eyelids. The transparent lid is a nictitating membrane that helps keep out sand and dust. 2 of the eyelids have eyelashes that help protect their eyes from sand. The third is a very thin lid that works almost as a windshield wiper to clean off their eyes. It closes and opens from side to side rather than up and down. It is also thin enough that camels can see through it somewhat. So, in a sandstorm or windy day where sand is being stirred up, they can close that lid to protect their eyes from the sand, but still see where they're going.
Okay, then. Wonders of nature.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They have to adapt to their surroundings. So I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and those surroundings can get quite harsh desert conditions that they have to contend with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so God knows exactly what he was doing, man. Trust me.
So people don't get too nervous when you see that third eye they close down if they ever get that close to a camel. It's supposed to do that. Yeah.
I went to Dubai, but I never got close to any camel. We had no time, unfortunately. To do that desert trek or trail, as they call it.
The dunes.
I also understand that the camels can close their nostrils if necessary.
Makes sense.
So that the dust doesn't get into,
a lot of dust.
nose.
This is
a
actually
whole dust in the desert there. In a desert.
Yeah.
Not dessert.
Not dessert.
All right, that was an interesting
fact.
WTF.
What the fact?
Yeah, get them all.
Alright, Bridge Nation, it's now time for updates. And you know, so from me say, it's Laden. Yeah, man, dancehall artist Laden is a free man. Yeah, man, the artist has been released from prison and has been seen enjoying his newfound freedom. A video has been circulating online showing Laden out and about on his CBR bike. And his associates confirmed in the video that the artist was indeed free. Freedom, what you mean? His associate said while he was asked another person off camera about his bike. Now, of course, Laden was sentenced to 4 years in prison in December of 2020 for illegal possession of a firearm and 18 months for illegal possession of ammunition. Now, the artist had pleaded guilty to the charges, which were set to run concurrently. However, it appears that he was released early from jail as he was set to serve a maximum of 4 years before he could be released. His attorney, interestingly, confirmed to reporters that he heard the artist was released, but he has not offered a reason for the early release. So that's interesting, Richie. Yeah, it's
quite interesting. Yeah. Saw the video. Saw the video.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, man, do a big bad wheelie, and you could see the relief.
Yeah.
And the joy of being in the free world once again.
Well,
Wolf and Bridget turn up and thing, and
that's good.
Yeah, we're cheering him on, you know.
That's good.
So Tommy Lee's out. Laden is out.
Mm-hmm.
No word on Ninja Man. No word on Cartel. Who else? No word on
who else around there?
People around there, you know.
Artists.
Yeah, man.
Why?
Zebra is still there. Lock up. Yeah, I think Zebra is still incarcerated, if I remember correctly. Zebra? Yeah, I think he's still in jail, in prison, yeah.
Oh,
to the best of my knowledge.
Oh.
And the list goes on and on. Hope that no one else ends up there anytime soon. Saw where a number of people are saying that Shorty should move and leave Jamaica with her sons because
it seems that
they feel that they're being targeted.
Yeah, some crazy things happening with the family over there right now.
So her house was searched recently.
I saw it.
And all of that. So let's see how that goes. All right, the story that I want to share with you though is the good news that Shaggy has handed over $100 million to the Bustamante Hospital for Children, almost 5 years since raising the funds through his Shaggy and Friends benefit concert to assist the hospital in procuring critical equipment to help the nation's children. The move came following a bitter spat between Shaggy and the hospital officials after they appeared to change the purpose for which the funds were to be used, and the artist refused to hand over the money because hospital officials were to use it to procure specialty equipment and beds. Well, the Gleaner reported recently that Shaggy handed over the funds, which will help to facilitate upgrades and aid in a slew of initiatives. The move comes following hardened efforts by the hospital officials who made several insinuations that the artist might have either misused or refused to hand over the funds. However, last year, Shaggy addressed the core of the dispute, which is that his foundation, Shaggy's Make a Difference Foundation, has never in the history of operation handed over cash or money to any institution. Rather, the organization raised funds and procured the goods needed and handed them over to the organization in need. He said, "We never hand over money to anybody. If you look at the model of Shaggy and Friends, we do not hand over money. We always buy equipment, and if there are repairs, we do repairs," he said. Shaggy also gave an example of previous help to Bustamante, that the hospital built the lab and the foundation undertook the task of furnishing the lab. Well, Shaggy had said also that he was waiting on the hospital to get several things done. A budget, drawings are done, and outsourcing a contractor at a competitive cost between the foundation, before the foundation released the funds. Well, what we can say is that the funds have now been released, that 100 million that they were awaiting, obviously, and that brings to over 400 million the amount of money that he has contributed to that hospital through that Shaggy and Friends benefit concert, and that in itself is a big deal, for which he must be commended.
For real, big up
Shaggy. Big up yourself, Shaggy, and the team, and all the best going forward. All right, hi to our friends, the medical staff, all those in hospital over there at the Bustamante, including those sick and under the weather, and all the members of staff at Bustamante. That's a good looking deed. Right now it's exactly 6:35, and that was
Update.
Right now, the proverb of the day.
If cow did know how him throat will turn, him would the chance spare seed.
Run that again there.
If cow did know how him throat will turn, him would the chance spare seed.
Why? I don't know.
Don't have enough space down there. The cow them always make an appearance in these proverbs. The cow underestimate or overestimate him throat hole. And it poses a problem when him try swallow a pear seed, I suspect. The meaning of that proverb is we do not always realize our limitations.
True that.
All right, so can we get a move?
Going forward, I'd rather use the meaning than the proverb. I'll go and say the meaning to people, but I don't know about saying the proverb. My Bridget wouldn't even finish the sentence.
Oh gosh. Well, you can't fast through. All right, another interesting proverb for you. Take that with you today. And many people look forward to that feature, so we're happy to bring it to you. Right now, it's time for a pet peeve of the morning.
Yep.
Pet peeves are things that people do, that others do, that you find upsetting, annoying, very often quite irritating. It's not often we hear Audley coming out with a pet peeve, but this morning belongs to him. So here is Audley's pet peeve.
Where's the drum roll? All right, morning, Rich Nation. My pet peeve this morning. Have you ever given out a piece of equipment or jewelry or something, Richie? And when you get it back, all right, you give out a chain and get back a chaparita. You give out a cell phone, let's say an iPhone,
Okay.
and you get back a Samsung.
Where is it? Or them want give back, you know, get it back.
Just a piece of something, you know, you give out, you know, you watch. You understand? As a citizen, and you get back a Casio.
What?
No, sir.
If it's a mother, I would take it, but
You give out a piece
Or
of
a Rolex.
You give out a piece of equipment,
Yeah.
like you know your radio or your stereo, right? It was silver. You get it back piece of black.
no, that's a lot of examples. What's the pet peeve? That is it.
Yeah. But you give out things like, in a one condition, you come back in the next.
Listen,
That's a pet
Yeah.
peeve.
you give out something and it comes back
In a different.
Yeah.
in a
different.
different setting. Rich.
But Jano,
Yeah, man. Them things that deter you from one of them things.
Can you imagine? You give out your good Sony headphones. You know, you have it on there. Eh?
gonna try that, you know. Give me a lesser brand, no, sir. As a matter of fact,
Sir.
my comfort zone is with this particular one, so I don't want nothing else.
See it there?
Yeah.
See there?
So you have had that
It just kind of
situation?
tee me off. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And why I'm mentioning all of that, because it happened, something
Recently?
happened recently.
Okay.
You understand?
Jaja.
And I'm like, no, this is not my stuff.
Mm.
You understand? What's this?
Something similar nearly reached me, you know. But I'm me, I don't want to return the good in a condition where it wasn't in when I got it. But I was lucky, so a virgin of mine, you know, I think it was a wedding. I said, John, don't forget to pat the belt. And I said, John, I'm born virgin. I said, oh, big guy, plate. Bad bossy belt, you know. Leather, you know. I'm not talk leather. Leather, you know.
Oh, you mean?
You know what I mean? Chang. Could have fit me, Richie. So, you know, but I never found out that until I was far away from home. So, you know, it got bridge nation on the belt, can't fit it up. Yeah, if I got some oops, I have board legs holding it, like, you know what I mean?
I used to draw for the ice pick.
But then, no, my mother asked me, you did ask a virgin if you could have. Nerves on me, I returned the belt, Richie. But, you know, thankfully, my virgin said, you know, so it could have fit me neither. So, thank you. So, yeah. That's the case when they get to it. But people lending the things, try the best to give it back into the condition when you get it.
Or if you're operating a repair shop and you
Yeah.
get items. And this is why it's important, like what happened with myself and the Indian gentleman in Pavilion recently, where Indian come and say,
I'm going to write down everything about this ring, you know, because I don't want when you come back, you say it's the wrong thing you get.
so he made sure and he wrote down
Which is right.
everything, couple pieces of diamond up on top there, so
Yeah, man.
circular shape round
Protect
there, so
yourself.
everything.
Yeah, man. Protect yourself. Man.
So you would have had that kind of information that you could fall back on.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of honestly.
Yeah, it can be
it's a
upsetting.
peeve.
It can be very
yeah,
upsetting.
man. For real.
Because you know, you give out your stuff, you want to get it back
For real.
repaired and ready.
Yeah, I tell you.
not changed in any way whatsoever.
I can go just a little further quickly and just tell you, right? The product I gave out was made in Italy. I got back something made in China.
Oh gosh.
You understand?
I could see problems there.
You understand? So,
Yeah, seriously. Now, opposition spokesman on industry, investment, and global logistics, Mr. Anthony Hylton, member of parliament, is expressing deep concern about Jamaica's precipitous fall to 97 in the Logistics Performance Index, the LPI, which was just released by the World Bank. In a statement recently, Mr. Hylton said that this latest ranking of 97 is a fall of 27 places from a high of 70 in 2014 during the PNP's administration. Now, for those who do not know, the LPI measures the performance of some 130 countries on key indices reflecting individual country progress on trade and economic development driven by logistics operations. I think we want to delve a little bit deeper into this this fall and get a perspective from Mr. Anthony Hylton this morning. And we say good morning. He's on with us now. Good morning, Mr. Hylton. How are you today?
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Richie B. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. First off, why do you think that Jamaica's ranking in the Logistics Performance Index has fallen so drastically, Mr. Hylton?
Well, the reasons I've given from my investigation and what I've said most recently in the House when I gave my sectoral presentation is that I think we're the focus on addressing the critical issues, which really is an appropriate mix of policies or institutional arrangements and really the infrastructure that we need to put in place we really don't have a focused attention on that. And I think we're doing things singly and separately, and that is not the approach to developing and to seizing the opportunities that we have.
Is this likely to impact our economy in any way whatsoever?
Of course it will. Logistics is not simply an operation in and by itself. It really reflects an effort to build the economy, to build trade in the economy more particularly. And to build trade, you have to deal with the production and the productive aspect of the economy, both import and export, and manufacturing, and a range of other related activities. So the index, while it focuses on one aspect, is really telling a larger story about the lack of integration, the lack of cohesion of policy, and the impact we're seeing being measured. But it's measured in other ways as well. It will show in our doing business report. And if the logistic index falls, then you can rest assured that when the other measures come out of doing business, it will fall as well.
Now, Mr. Hylton, what specific measures would you suggest the government take on in order to improve Jamaica's logistics performance?
Well, again, I make reference to my entire presentation to the House last Tuesday. And those range of policies I outlined there include to look at our trade policy that we have done very little about in recent times, to look at an industrial policy and a logistics policy. From the point of view of an institution, there's really no institution that focuses on our logistics. I'm proposing a logistic council that pulls together the critical institutions to begin to focus on the policies and the set of actions that will transform and improve our economic and logistics arrangements. All of that is set out in the presentation.
Okay. Is there a role for the private sector though in improving Jamaica's logistics and investment sectors?
It's critical role. The private sector capacity is critical, but again, for the private sector to invest, the private sector needs to have clarity of both vision and policy arrangements, and that is a responsibility of the government. And this is why I'm proposing a logistic council, because that brings together the several stakeholders, in government, in private sector, and in the critical institutions.
Is that suggestion gaining traction from your perspective?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's early days. It's Tuesday. I put a fulsome presentation on Tuesday, but yes. I would hope that the response from the media, such as yours and others who have called to ask and to inquire, I hope that reflects some consideration and recognition that we need to take action in these areas.
Let me ask you one more question on this matter, Mr. Hylton. What do you think is the biggest obstacle to Jamaica's economic growth, and how can it be overcome?
Well, it's not a silver bullet. It's not one thing. What I think, what is needed, and what I'm asking, and in this case, I'm proposing, is that there's a mix of things that needs to be done. But in order to do that and to prioritize that, you first of all have to focus, and the government has to play its part in creating the conditions and laying the foundation. Because private capital, we can either do nothing and hope that private capital will see the problem and fix it. But because it requires a multidisciplinary approach to it, the government has to lead and to create the conditions on that. And I think that is the settled approach to economic development, that you have to have a partnership at a minimum between government and the private sector, especially where government itself does not have the resource to do the critical things.
But based on your observation, do you think it's likely that with what is happening in the economy right now, that we might see a reversal in the fall on the radar?
No, not by itself. It's not going to happen automatically, and that's the point I'm making. It has to be an intentional approach to it, because the opportunity, as I've long argued, and I think is now generally recognized, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic and the problems we've had in the economy of supply chain issues. I think there's a general acceptance that it is the case that Jamaica has an opportunity, I believe, an historic opportunity to play a far more significant role in the supply chain and logistics area. And if we're going to do that, then we have to be very intentional about the policies and the approaches that we take. And that must include this set of measures that I've indicated in my sectoral presentation.
Yes. Going off script a little bit, did you make it to NEC on the weekend?
For sure, yeah. Yes.
All right. Any? I hear the leader is asking that my words, a sense of decorum, be established from all candidates who are vying for representation. I know that Southeast St. Anne, Northeast St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine Southeast are very much in the news, so to speak. Anything you'd like to say on that?
Well, I mean, simply, I think the leader said it best. I mean, simply that it's a competitive environment. People are competing for position, which is a good thing. But I think in doing so, we have to ensure that is done in a particular way, and that the sense of decorum is maintained. So, yes.
Fully agreed with the leader, I'm sure. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Hylton. Have a wonderful day. Great talking with you.
All right. Thank you.
All the best.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Anthony Hylton. And on that note, we say good afternoon, Robo Ranks.
Robo. Good afternoon, or should I say, well, let me say good morning, Jamaica, good morning, team. Richie, Odds, Shelz, Wagwan this morning, yeah.
We're there.
I hope everybody's had breakfast and feeling like, yeah.
What is that?
No?
So, oddly, so what is that?
What is that?
Not yet.
I went fairly light this morning.
I don't understand why you gentlemen joined the studio, burned so much energy and hasn't try to get the system up before you join the show. What is this all about?
Cereals can really energize you know.
Pardon?
Yeah, a bowl of cereals can really energize you.
Is this a health kick, Odds? Tell me.
Robo.
Yeah.
I'm on the road at 4:45. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes, that's still nighttime.
he gets there a little ahead of us.
Yeah, man. Yeah, aim up the studio.
Yeah. To be fair, you should be having late dinner then.
well, Robo, I mean, open.
Yeah, man. Open up the place.
It is I.
Oh, man, that is early. Well, we get to start a little bit later because it's obviously, as you know, it's 1:47 in London. Blissfully. How can I describe the day without sound tea-ish? Tea and toast-ish. Okay, I can't do it. But it's a very nice day in London. Not so good for one of our leading voices, black politicians, Miss Diane Abbott, who got herself in a bit of a tiff by publishing a letter. People have read the letter. Some people find there's nothing to be offended about, and then there's obviously the Jewish community, Irish community, and so many other communities felt, redhead community, offended by the letter, so they ousted her out of her position, and she's temporarily suspended whilst facing an investigation. But let's not forget the amount of work this woman has done for the black community for quite some time.
She's first black MP, right?
Yeah,
and she's of Jamaican parentage.
Black MP. She's a formidable character, but
Diane
obviously the word she used, in this time, and backlash, outrage is.
Oh yes.
Outrage comes at all different angles. It comes via social media, newspapers. Radio.
Right. I think she basically was saying, and she said, by the way, that it was a draft that was mistakenly published, and I think she was basically saying that the Jews never faced racism. and many people are taking issue with that.
Why the face, Shelz? I know it is for some people. It seems to be a touchy subject anytime you mention Jewish, and you are labeled as an anti-Semite, and that doesn't go down well here in the UK. But I must say, she has been an MP for so many years in an area in East London which has the biggest Jewish community, which is in Hackney, Stamford Hill. So I don't know why it's taken so many years for this conversation to brew up in such a way, but she has faced so much backlash as a MP anyway, as a black female MP. For many years, she's taken the brunt of a lot of racism, criticism in the House of Commons, all different quarters. The fact that they don't like Diane Abbott, they don't like, as they say, uppities. So this it's taken a turn. We'll see how it goes anyway. We're not surprised at the backlash at all.
Hi to her family in Clarendon, where her parents are from. And she has done a lot of good work, and I hope that she gets back her position as a representative of the people.
I hope she has a meeting with the people she offended. If it's the Jewish community that felt the worst of it, just have a sit down, have a conversation, listen to the grievance, try to get some understanding, and we can all move on. That's how we should really kind of play this in most affairs. If we have just conversation, dialogue is the most important thing, not outrage.
So you have a newspaper called The Observer up there, right?
Yes.
Okay, because we have one here. So when I saw the story about Diane Abbott initially, I went to a local search and couldn't find where that article was published. And then I realized, okay, so we have the Jamaica Observer, while the UK has The Observer. So that settled that for me. We wish her well.
Yes, wish her well, and of course any of the communities that felt affected by it. Let's hope that, as I said, we can get some conversation going.
Yeah. Agreed.
Get it worked over,
Absolutely.
Most definitely. Listen, before I start and we get into any music, yes, I was listening. And I heard this bit of audio which you expect. Good Jamaican people understand. That is a Chinese audio. I'll tell you why it's Chinese. Because I'm going to give you the answer before you even put it out tomorrow. It is not Jamaican, people. Don't worry if you don't get it right and you don't win the big booby prize. It's because it's Chinese. That sound there is, Chinese part Jamaican. It's Ding Dong in his kitchen stir frying. That's stir frying. Someone's doing a stir fry.
Jody's having a good laugh.
Ding Dong. Jody, don't switch it. You know I'm right.
So you're saying that Ding Dong paid a visit to Jody?
Yes, Jody's got connects like that,
okay.
yes.
And that sound came out of the kitchen as they were doing some stir fry.
It's a stir fry, it's a wok. Or maybe a Dutch pot wok. But it's a wok, and he's using metal utensils, and he's doing a stir fry. Stir fry. He might do a stir fry.
I hope you win.
Can you play the sound again, please?
We can play the sound again. That's not difficult.
Thank you. Why, thank you.
You might end up changing your mind. I'm not certain. But listen.
Nope.
Listen this.
That's the greens. Yes, there goes the greens. Yep.
He's sticking to his answer.
Yeah, the man even more convinced.
Yeah, I'm not changing at all. He feels that is Jody and possibly in the company of Ding Dong doing. That's Robo's answer.
That's my answer.
All right, there's a gentleman who stepped into the studio a while ago, greeted us well, and promised, I think he kind of made a promise that he's going to lift the morning up somewhat with positivity.
Looking
and that is right up our street, right?
Yes, man. Yeah, man, our guest is none other than Kevin Heath, who's a recording gospel artist, minister of the gospel, motivational speaker, and a comedian. Now, here we go on Bridge Nation. Kevin had a very interesting childhood. He ended up on the streets of Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth at the age of 9. And he was selling to survive and even sleeping in the streets. Now, while in that situation, Kevin, he got Bridge Nation, ended up in the wrong group, doing the wrong things. And that was his reality for several years. Until one day, he decided to seek refuge from an aunt living in the area. Since then, he got baptized, found the Lord, big part of the church. He formed a youth choir, and even went on now to become a big artist, sharing stage with big names in gospel. And of course, most importantly, finding ways to share the ministry and spreading the gospel all over the world. It's a pleasure and a privilege to welcome Kevin Heath to the show.
Bless you.
Morning, Kevin. Welcome.
I am so happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Good to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Quite an interesting childhood, as Shelz just indicated a while ago.
Yes, sir.
There might have been a few things that we left out. When you look back at your childhood, what are some of the other things that spring to mind?
I am happy that I went through all what I've been through. I'm very grateful now, but when I was going through it, it wasn't good. Some people in life will actually, based on where you are now, they will judge you to say, boy, he has never been through that, because they are looking on the finished product.
Yeah.
But they were never there when you're going through your darkness, your wilderness. From all of us here have been through some rough times, school and also job, you name it. And look at it. One of my dreams is to be in a studio one day with you, sir.
Really?
And so today is a dream that manifests over 20-something years.
Gosh,
look at that.
Why you stayed away so long, man?
I was not in the position at the moment, and so we have to wait on timing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Timing is the master for everything, and I am grateful here not just to be a Christian, is beyond Christianity. I'm talking about kingdom and assignment that God has placed upon your life.
Yeah.
And majority of those come through a lot of mistakes. So my mistakes is the word correction.
Yeah. Did you have anything to do with the fact that you were pretty much on the streets at 9 years of age?
It's actually 10 something. 10
Okay.
plus, yes. So it was broken relationship in my family, my mother and my father. They were married, and the abusive relationship have drive us to the street.
Oh.
And so I'm from St. Elizabeth, so I had to start to sleep on the street side and actually eat from the garbage bin.
What,
And so
Kevin?
that's the thing. I wasn't mad. I was eating from the garbage bin. A lot of people say once garbage bin come in place and say, oh, he's mad. He's not mad. I'm homeless. And because I'm homeless, and hunger drive you to anger and suicide. And I've gone through all of that. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people, seeing Kevin Heath now, even making mistakes, because I'm not perfect, sorry. I don't know if the world is perfect.
It's not?
So therefore, I am not. But if you ever know how hard it is for me to reach here, you would have celebrated me and helped me to go to the next level for the next nation, for the next generation to come.
Wow. You have a powerful testimony. Thankfully, you didn't spend a lot of time, it seems, on the streets. How did the rescue come about?
6 years.
6 years?
6.5 years going up, yeah.
Gosh, still a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time, and a lot of people don't know that. So Miss Roper, passed and gone. Mr. Roper passed and gone. God bless them. They took me in, and so I started to search for God, and I thought that I would find God through baptism. So I baptized around 8 times. It's nothing I pleased to say about, but I was looking for God. So,
Is that you were different churches?
different churches.
Oh, okay.
Every church. So I used to sleep under the cellar and go to different home, and I learned different things. And it can be positive, and it can also be negative, because you learn different people behavior. And I took on all of those personalities.
I have to ask this on a humorous tip. When is your 9th? He takes it forward in his shells. He saw the humor in that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. Shelz has a question for you.
Man, so no, Kevin, I'm curious, because I can tell already, that I can see the minister in you. I can hear it. I can feel
Thank
the
you.
energy.
Thank you.
But what I'm curious about is the comedian side.
It is there.
Yeah. How do you blend being a comedian, a gospel artist, and spreading the gospel? How do you blend all of that together?
I'm not trying to do it. It's an inborn thing. A lot of artists don't have to write a song. They just go into the studio because it's already in you. everything that you needed is already in you, you know. What you're doing now was already in you. Whatever Mr. Richie B is doing was already in him. It's just a manifestation. So the comedy was always in me. This is natural. You're laughing. I don't write anything.
Man.
Right. So it's a connection. And so it comes in my message. It comes in my singing. Sometimes I go to a concert and people sitting down just feel just down. And the comedy just come at the right time. That's how God orchestrated it to be. And that's what it is. And over my 18 years marriage, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic. You know, but I get the feeling just by listening to you that you have a strong testimony. And there might be somebody listening to the program right now, Kevin, who needs a word of encouragement, somebody who's a little down for whatever reason.
Yes.
What would you say to such a listener right now?
Fall in love with the manual. Everything that we have in this world have a manual. Your phone, your fridge, the Bible is our manual. And if you fall in love with the Bible itself, which is the manual for mankind, then your steps are ordered by God. And as said before, it is bigger than just the name Christianity. We're talking about kingdom, key, assignment, what you were created for. What is it that you're created for? Find your purpose. And by finding your purpose is finding it through the word. Which will, the Bible is the only book that you read you, you know. So if he's a thief, and you read the Bible, it tells you who say you are. So that's the only book that reads you when you read it. And so, I'm grateful.
By the way, you're listening to the station that listens to you, Rich Nation. I just had to put that in. The Bible is the only book that you read that reads you. Wow.
No
That's
other
powerful.
book.
Man.
No other book.
Man. No, I see it on the shirt.
Strong faith.
Strong faith. Yeah, but that's the new single out.
Yes.
How well is it doing, and you know, what's the motivation, the inspiration, you know, behind that track?
You know, to be honest with you, Radio Land, I want to tell you the truth. Even though you're in Christ, something you feel like God not even there with you. I don't know if anybody read the Bible to understand that. Something you feel like. So I was saying, God, I do all of this so I walk into the community and minister. I do all of this and nothing not happening for me. Everything shut down and I see all the wicked passing me in Range Rover and Benz and me just stay so. So I said, God, what can I do? Me not feel no shame to say your name. Me say it louder. And me feel joy when I worship in you. Like there's nothing in this world to do. So what is it that you need to do? So I say, you know, say look like me need a little more faith. So I say, yo, strong faith we need. In your marriage, in your home, you have faith, but you just need a little more. Strong faith. That's what we need to carry us through in this time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Are you strong in you're strong in faith, but are you strong on social media as well?
I'm not strong on social media as I should. And that's the way the world going now. But I have content and I have followers and I have fans, and it's two different things. Fans is different from followers. I'm hoping to get some fans.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm on all media platform. You can find Kevin Heath.
All right. I want to play the song, but before we go to the song itself, what else are you working on, Kevin? I see that you have done many performances with big named artists as well. And obviously you have been getting bookings because of those that I've seen.
Yes.
What else are you working on, and what does the future look like for you?
Very bright to impact the nation.
Great.
I'm not looking for hit song, I'm looking for messages, because my music must live beyond my name. Must live beyond me. When I die, my music must continue for the next generation. So my music, my message is going to live past me. And so my first album and collaboration is coming out for this year.
Wow.
And I'm heading to Miami. My first time performing with Hezekiah Walker, Jacqueline Carr, and also Papa San.
Well, that's a big event.
Oh yeah.
Big names on it, for sure.
Thank you.
Good luck on that.
Blessings.
Yeah, man.
And so it's mostly overseas. I've just recently came back from Europe.
Okay.
In Italy, Sweden, and I was in London and those areas. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
Kim, big up yourself and all the team, LB and the whole team over there, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Are you still based in
Jamaica? Yes, Spanish Town.
Oh, Spanish Town, not St. Elizabeth.
No, sir.
Okay.
I want to visit. Last week I was on the school tour.
Yes.
With Jody and Pantry down that side.
Hi, Jody.
Excellent team. You know, and Tiffany Hall and all of us was there and smashed. The whole of us was impacting the school. There's so much things happening in the school right now, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need strong faith.
We see a lot of it.
That's right.
We need strong faith.
Strong faith indeed.
Listen, it's really been a blessing talking with you, Kevin.
Thank you, sir.
I want to hear you speak a little bit more. I want to give you my job for a moment.
Thank you, sir.
And allow you to introduce your own song to the Bridge Nation right now. We're going to play Strong Faith. Over to you, Kevin.
Well, this is Strong Faith, and I hope you guys share it in every community and every platform. We take so much other things that is not necessary to spread it. Can we do something once and for all? Spread strong faith that we can heal the minds of our young women. And young men have so much future in Jamaica. Let's do it together. Strong faith.
And it's now time, Bridge Nation, for the Global Connection. I think he's back in the Big Apple. DJ Roy.
Yeah. G-Force. Where you say G-Force?
Good morning.
Good morning. DJ Roy said, Irie morning.
Next time you say, and to all the all the Jeevers wannabes.
Listen, like if you're in a deep sleep and G-Force walks into your house, you must wake up.
Must wake. Alarm clock.
Have you ever heard him say traffic?
Oh my God.
That's another one of his terminologies.
I was on a cruise with him, man, and after, partying for some 22 hours, and we're downstairs, getting breakfast, and everybody's between sleep and wake. He's just walking around the ship going, traffic! Look at this guy. It must be a Portmore thing. Where does the energy come from?
Shelz, you do that?
No. Wow.
I remember I was invited to host one leg of I think it was called the Roots Rock Reggae Tour with the Marley Brothers and Toots and the Maytals. And when I went there, G-Force was actually doing the entire tour as Stone Love and also as host, and was doing a fantastic job as well. We had a good laugh backstage. I said, boy, it's only one night I get off of this thing, so Richard them can't afford it.
That'd be true.
Yeah, nah, he was just joking. Big up G-Force anyway there. Good youth. Yeah, so what's up, boss? You're back in the usual surroundings?
Studio. Back in New York City and experiencing some great weather, but it's algae season, and when you look at your car, if you have a white car, it looks green. If you have a red car, it looks green. If it's a black car, it looks green. The pollen on the cars are ridiculous, so algae sufferers right now, this is not a very, very good time of the year for them.
Wow. It's strange weather.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the beginning of summer, so we take it, because if we don't get no pollen, we don't get no summer. So it comes with the territory.
You can't have it all, I guess.
No, you can't. Yeah, all you need to do is do what you do. Allergy sufferers, though, it's something that I had years ago, and your eyes look like you smoke marijuana and you don't. Your nose feels like somebody threw courage in it because it's itching.
So talking about marijuana, the new song from Buju and Snoop came out on 420.
We
High Life.
got to play. Yeah, we got to play it, and like I said, I was having a conversation with Buju by text, and he seems in good spirit. We saw him with Snoop Dogg doing a live.
Yeah.
So the promotion on it is up and running, and I think it was that was the anthem song really for 420 this year. I know when you would go back to the Mighty Diamonds songs and songs like that, the Calibud songs, but that kind of took over the airwaves worldwide.
Yeah, nice. Definitely. I was telling the folk here that we caught up at Kabaka's event, and you gave me an introduction there that had me almost stuttering when I got to the microphone.
It's hard to get you stuttering. Shelz, it's hard. Yeah. This is a man of many words.
That's true.
But when you speak the truth, though, because like I said, I always talk about it, even prior to this connection, that I'll never forget the live broadcast you came and did at Roy Wilkins Park, and at that time also, Roy Wilkins Park was not as famous as it is now
True.
in the Caribbean community. And you came into the live broadcast, and the technology that we have now was nowhere near what you were using. I was like, how is this going to... And I was just fascinated to see, how is this going to happen? We're going live into Jamaica at what, like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, big up Hal Plummer.
Yes. And I saw you walk in with such ease, and when all chaos was breaking, because we're nervous about the connection, we're nervous about the sound, Richie comes in and says, okay, when you're ready for me, let me know.
Yeah.
Countdown, 1, 2, 3, live.
Yeah. He recalled all of that.
Yeah.
And so after that introduction, I had to take a few moments to sort of regain my composure.
Yeah.
But I said to Roy, let's go over and say hello to Minister Grange.
Yes.
And he says, no problem, let's go. So I went over, Minister Grange, my good friend and my partner. We broadcast together, blah, blah, blah. And she shook hands. But I left you talking to the minister. And then shortly thereafter, I think the following morning, I heard that there was a 10 million injection in the netball program. Is that what you were talking about? I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Well, anything for the kids, and especially for the netball program.
Okay. Almost had me wondering whether or not you were talking about making that injection yourself.
Well, I have some people in of influence in terms of money.
Yeah.
And made a few phone calls.
Okay. It all came together quite well.
Yes, apparently.
Yeah, big ups to Kabaka and all those artists who turned out to support him, man. It was a good vibe.
Definitely good vibe. And thank you, because you're the one that told me about it, and I changed my flight.
Yeah. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I was supposed to leave Wednesday, and I decided, Richie said I'm at the road, and Richie at the road too often. And I started car driving, and them things that I see him.
I actually said that to Kabaka. Yeah, I told Kabaka straight up, I really don't do a lot of this thing, but for your thing and for the respect that I have for you, I had to be here.
Yeah.
All right, it's now 11 minutes before the hour of 10 o'clock. It's that time of the morning when we thank our guests who showed up. First off, we had Mr. Anthony Hylton, Member of Parliament and Opposition Spokesman on Industry, Investment and Global Logistics. And we had an interesting discussion with Mr. Hylton.
Of course, at 7:30, we introduced the new Secret Sound for the Secret Sound game. Just as challenging. Jody, I gotta say it easy, Bridge Nation, but it's not. But try again tomorrow, and I wish you guys all the best. Of course, at 7:45 in the AM, it was all about the UK connection with Rubber Ranks on the beat, London 103.6 FM. Great vibes. And of course, at 9 AM, a very, very positive, very inspirational talk with Kevin Heath.
Made a big impact on us, trust me.
Big impact. Kevin Heath is a gospel recording artist and, of course, a motivational speaker and also a comedian. So big up yourself, Kevin, and we wish you all the best with your journey. And of course, at 9:13, we just concluded the Global Connection with DJ Roy on Jam Radio.
Absolutely. Hey, what we do is more important than what we say or what we say we believe. Bell Hooks made that statement. That is our final salvo, so to speak, and you can take those words with you. It's been a beautiful morning. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Kevin. Shelz, thank you, and DJ Order. My name is Richie B. We'd like to thank, of course, the every member of the Bridge Nation for tuning in this morning, and we hope that we got you up in fine style. If it was, then why not tune in tomorrow morning again at 6 o'clock in the eye, when we'll do it all over again for 4 hours strong right here on The Bridge 99 FM. Take care. Have a good day, everybody.